Most people don't fail interviews because they are underqualified. They fail because they unknowingly self-sabotage. You walk in prepared, you have researched the company, and yet something feels off. You don't get a call back. You wonder, what went wrong? Well, let me tell you something. Interviews are not just about what you say. They are about how you carry yourself, how you connect, and yes, what you avoid doing. Some of the most common interview mistakes aren't dramatic. They are small, subtle, and easy to miss, but they send the wrong signal. So in today's video, we are breaking down what to stop doing in interviews. If you have ever walked out of an interview feeling confused, discouraged, or unsure whether you did enough, this is for you. Let's make sure you never lose another opportunity because of something that was totally avoidable. Stop being overly humble. Modesty is great, but in an interview, being too humble can backfire. It often sounds like this: "Oh, I was just lucky to be part of that project. I don't know if I am the best fit, but I'm willing to learn." Here's the thing. When you downplay your achievements, you don't sound modest, you sound unsure. And when a recruiter hears that, it raises a silent red flag. Will this person be able to handle responsibility? Can they own results? Remember, an interview is your choice to show your value, not shrink it. You are not bragging, you are clarifying. There's a difference between saying I led a team of 5 versus it was a group effort and I just helped out. It's okay to own your work. Be specific. Talk about the impact you made. Use confident phrases like I was responsible for, I successfully delivered, or I improved the process by X%. Confidence sells. If you can't communicate your worth, how will they believe you can add value? Stop memorizing answers like a script. You have probably been told to prepare for interviews, and of course you should. But over-preparation can be a trap. When your answers sound too polished, too rehearsed, it feels robotic. Interviewers don't want to talk to a script. They want to talk to you. Think about it. When someone gives a memorized answer, it lacks energy. It doesn't adapt to the moment. It sounds like someone trying to pass a test rather than engage in a real conversation. Instead of memorizing, focus on key points. Understand your own career story well enough to talk about it naturally. Practice with a friend or in front of a mirror, but aim for clarity, not perfection. Use the STAR method: situation, task, action, result, to structure your answers without sounding like a robot. And remember, it's okay to pause and collect your thoughts. That pause often sounds more confident than rushing into a rehearsed response. Interviews aren't about reciting, they are about connecting. Don't trade authenticity for polish. Stop saying, "I don't have experience in that." Here's a trap a lot of people fall into. An interviewer asks about a skill or tool you haven't worked with, and your instinct is to say, "I don't have experience in that." Wrong move. When you say that without context, you create a dead end. What the interviewer hears is, "I can't do this." Instead, pivot. Turn it into a learning moment. Say something like, "I haven't used that exact tool, but I have worked with similar ones like X, and I'm confident I can pick this one up quickly." Or, "That hasn't come up in my past roles, but I'm familiar with the basics and I've been studying it independently." This shows adaptability and curiosity, 2 traits every employer values. Nobody expects you to be perfect. They expect you to be resourceful. So the next time you are asked about something you haven't done, don't shut the door. Open a window. Stop rambling. We get it. Interviews make people nervous. And when you are nervous, you start talking. And here's the problem. Rambling kills clarity. When your answers are long-winded, interviewers lose track of your point, and so do you. This doesn't mean your answers should be short and bland. It means they should be structured and focused. Here's a trick. Pause for 2 seconds before answering. Think about the main idea you want to communicate, then say it directly. Start with a headline. "Sure, let me walk you through a time I handled a difficult client." Then give your example using the STAR format. Wrap it up with a closing sentence. "That experience really taught me how to stay calm under pressure." Rambling often comes from trying to impress, but confidence isn't about saying more. It's about saying what matters and leaving space for the other person to respond. If you keep talking, you might miss the question they really wanted to ask. Stop faking what you don't know. Let's be honest. Sometimes we want to seem more competent than we are, so we pretend. We nod like we understand the term. We say, "Yes, I've used that," when we haven't. Here's the risk. They might dig deeper, and if you are bluffing, it'll show. Faking it breaks trust, and in a job interview, trust is everything. It's perfectly okay to say, I haven't worked with that yet, or I've heard of it, but I'd need a little more ramp up time. In fact, being honest often makes you stand out because so few people are willing to admit what they don't know. The key is to pair that honesty with eagerness. I haven't used Tableau professionally, but I've been exploring it through online courses, and I'm excited to learn more. That's real, that's confident, and that shows you are coachable. No one expects you to know everything, but they will expect you to be honest. Stop talking only about yourself. Here's a mindset shift. An interview isn't just about you, it's about them. Many candidates focus only on what they want, their goals, their story, their preferences. And yes, that's important. But what interviewers really want to know is, how will this person help us? That means tailoring your answers. When you talk about your strengths, connect them to the company's needs. When you discuss a project you are proud of, explain how it relates to what they are doing. Research the company deeply. Understand their challenges, their values, their current work. Then use the interview to show how you can support that vision. Don't just say, I want to grow. Say, I want to grow while contributing to a company that values innovation like yours. It's a simple shift, but it's powerful because at the end of the day, they are hiring you to solve problems, not just to fulfill your dreams. Stop ignoring the interviewer's energy. You might not realize it, but interviews are not just verbal, they are emotional. People don't just remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel. So stop focusing only on your answers and start tuning into the interviewer's vibe. Are they leaning in or zoning out? Are they asking follow-up questions or checking their watch? Ignoring these signals means you might be missing your chances to build rapport. Instead, mirror their energy. If they are formal, keep it professional. If they are relaxed, ease up a bit. If they seem excited about a topic, lean in. Also, don't forget to listen. Many candidates are so focused on what they'll say next that they forget to truly engage. Interviews are conversations, not monologues. You are not just being evaluated, you are also evaluating the team, the manager, the environment. So stop treating the interview like a performance. Start treating it like a two-way connection. Stop forgetting to ask good questions. At the end of almost every interview, you will be asked, do you have any questions for us? This is not a formality. This is your final chance to leave a strong impression, and most people waste it. Saying, no, I think you have covered everything makes you seem disinterested or unprepared. Instead, come with 2 to 3 thoughtful questions ready. Ask about the team culture, upcoming goals, or what success looks like in the first 6 months. Even better, ask questions based on what was said during the interview. For example, you mentioned you're expanding your product line. How would this role support that? Or, what does collaboration between this team and other departments typically look like? This shows that you are listening, thinking long term, and already picturing yourself in the role. Asking smart questions isn't just about impressing them. It helps you decide if this is a place you want to work. So don't skip this part. Make it count. So let's bring it all together. You don't need to be perfect in interviews, but you do need to be intentional. Every word you say, every answer you give, every question you ask, it all creates a story that either says, I'm ready for this role, or I'm still figuring it out. The biggest mistakes in interviews aren't about being underqualified. They're about miscommunication, being too humble, sounding too rehearsed, rambling, bluffing, being self-focused, missing the energy of the room, or forgetting to ask real questions. Each of these things tells the interviewer something, and now that you know what to avoid, you are already ahead of the curve. The good news, all of this is fixable. These aren't personality flaws, they are just habits, and habits can be changed. So the next time you're walking into an interview, walk in with presence, with clarity, with a mindset that this is not about impressing, this is about connecting. You already have what it takes. Now let's make sure they see it too. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever walked out of an interview and thought, I totally messed that up? What's one mistake you have made in the past, and how would you handle it differently now? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Your story might help someone else feel less alone. Remember, every interview is practice for the next one. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep growing.